Pour yourself a cold one and join us for an hour filled to the brim with fun.
It hurts in my ears right now.
Entertainment.
Cheeky, bang, bang.
Information.
I need some water and a washcloth.
And a little weirdness.
Can I be a duck? Yeah, I don't think they want me to be a duck.
It's Happy Hour with DJ Kyle, presented by SRG Financial Advisors.
Welcome to another edition of Happy Hour. I'm your host, DJ Kyle, and you're watching Lake TV. We want to say thanks to our sponsors, SRG Financial Advisor, home of the mile marker formula. Also, Ozarks Barge and Dock, thank you for your support of Happy Hour. Our good friends at Our Veterinary Clinic and American Elm Company, thank you so much for this fantastic decor we have here on set. Today's show, great show lined up for you. Neil Gist, one of the happiest guys you'll ever meet. He's going to be on the show today. We're going to be talking about the Watchdog Report. We also are going to be going and visiting the LCTC, which is the Lake Career and Technical Center, and we're going to show you all that they have to offer, which they have a lot more than you even know that they have. Constance Hoffman from COMC comes in and tells us a little bit more about the Narcan vending machines and all the great things they have going on at COMC. And of course, our furry friend this week is a dog named Shorty. Can't wait. All of that and more right here at Happy Hour on Lake TV.
While the financial services industry for years has focused on products, pricing, and performance, or things we refer to at SRG as the how, our focus for our clients has always been around their why. And without fail, over all these years, those whys have centered around family, occupation, and recreation. Think legacy issues, retirement, or achieving a work optional lifestyle, and checking off those important things on that recreational bucket list. Our foundational approach remains a focus on the things that matter most to our clients and the things that together we can control. And where those two things overlap, that's where we live and work every day. That's SRG Financial and the Mile Marker Formula.
Want a dock that will withstand the wake from a million boats? Want a dock that's different from the usual dock? Then you want Ozarks Barge and Dock in Gravois Mills. Ozarks Barge and Dock now celebrating 35 years of building the best dock on Lake of the Ozarks. And we guarantee every dock we build. So when it comes time to build your custom dock, trust the best and go with Ozarks Barge and Dock, building the best dock at the lake for the last 35 years.
Your furry friends are more than pets, they're family, and at Our Veterinary, we understand that. With multiple locations, we can service your pets when and where you need it. Our team of professionals offer routine wellness, orthopedic care from broken bones to joint repair, and even emergency services. We are ready to welcome your pet to our family with medical or preventative care. Our Veterinary, with 6 convenient locations, the team providing exceptional care for your pet when and where you need it.
Welcome back to Happy Hour, sponsored by SRG Financial Advisors, home of the mile marker formula. Thank you so much for your support of Happy Hour. And right now we are sitting with one of the happiest people that I know and one of my favorite people to talk to. We have Neil Gist. Neil, thank you so much for joining us on the show today. And we're talking a little bit about the Watchdog Report and some of the things that are going into the Watchdog Report, some of the stuff that you can get out of that. These are available all around the lake area. You can even go online at watchdogreport.com. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Watchdogreport.com. But you can kind of keep up with some of the political things that are going on in and around Lake of the Ozarks area. We have Representative Thomas answering questions on some pending litigation that's going on, or legislation that's going on, excuse me. Also, there was one thing that I noticed in here, Neil, about the they're talking about the Missouri Entertainment Industry Investment Act and the Missouri Entertainment Industry things like taxes going in for the, is that kind of how this goes?
Yeah, well, I mean, this was a really big one. If you're interested in what's going on in the state legislature, just here in the state legislature, just here in the back, tons of bills, really big update. But yeah, I think one of the things going through right now is a bill or a discussion about tax breaks and perhaps for the entertainment industry as it pertains to having, I guess, films made here. Like other states do, those sort of tax breaks, and people are surprised when who I meet outside of Missouri to find out that Ozark wasn't actually shot here. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Ozark wasn't shot here.
I know, and and I guess part of the thought process is if we incentivize those sorts of productions here with tax incentives, then maybe we can.
Yeah, because I've heard that, especially when Ozark started coming down here and filming. That was when I first started hearing the whole concept of, there's other states, Georgia being one of those that I've just heard the stories of, where they do tax breaks for film companies to come in, do the filming, so you don't have to pay as much tax. You can use our backdrops in our little towns and whatever to film movies, and then they get a break from those tax. But you have all these film crew that are coming in and staying in the hotels and eating, and they have to put money into the industry to keep it going. And that was the first time that I even heard anything about that. And I thought, well, Lake of the Ozarks is a beautiful area. Missouri is a beautiful area. Why not have those tax breaks? And I know it's probably a lot more than what I could possibly fathom and a lot more that goes into. But this is really interesting because there's some really hard-hitting questions here to Lisa Thomas about those tax breaks and can you still be considered conservative if you're doing these tax breaks? What's your thought on those?
Yeah, so that's sort of the controversy or the conflict, I guess, with the tax breaks. Is it conservative? Because like you're saying, having business come in, that's great for the economy, that's great for local businesses. Mm-hmm. Obviously, that's good, and that's a market sort of, the market at work, that's wonderful. But the problem is that in order to get to that point, if we have to selectively favor certain businesses with tax breaks, that gives them a competitive edge over other businesses, then it's, on the surface, it's about, the Missouri economy, but really then it becomes about these institutions getting in bed with the politicians to make sure that they're the ones getting the tax breaks. It becomes a barrier of entry for actual free market competition.
Yeah.
And the problem is, in my opinion, is the high taxes in the first place. If it's sort of an acknowledgement of the destructive force of taxation. We're incentivizing people to come here and start a business by minimizing their taxes. Like, even the left agrees with this. We all know lower taxes is better for business. It's out there now.
Yeah.
That's my position on it, anyways.
And there's always a pro to the con. Whichever way you look at it, there's something on the other side that it's going to trigger to do something, and that's something that I didn't even think about. Why wouldn't we just lower those taxes? But yeah, what about businesses like me that have to still pay all the taxes? And what about the local tips? That's something that I always hear people when they talk about, this new place is going to come into town or whatever, and they get some kind of tip, and then you have some people that are really angry, some people that are really happy for it. And what's your stance, or is it different by different things?
Mm-hmm. And so I think part of the conflict too is confusion about what is conservative here, what is best for the economy, and sort of that conflict at the local level, the same one that I just described. It's the same thing. You have businesses coming in here getting chummy with the politicians, and they're the ones who get the tax breaks and the rezoning or whatever, that sort of stuff, and so part of the confusion, I think, too, is the label conservatism. So we're in the midst of a culture war, obviously, right now with the left and the right, and that's gotten really bad. But there are these little microcosms of culture wars too inside of both parties. And on the left, you've got your wokeness, and then your more traditional Democrats, and they're duking it out. And then on the right, you have your conservatives and your neocons, maybe your post-World War II sort of authoritarian conservative type. Mm-hmm. And so I want to address what a conservative is, because that's something that I hear a lot of confusion about. And so the conservatism in America came about in response to progressivism. In the early 1900s, it was a response saying, we're conserving the things that you guys are trying to change with progressivism. That's what conservatism was. And the underlying roots there were either British philosophers like Edmund Burke or American founding fathers, essentially, that is what we were conserving. Small government, low taxes, individual sovereignty, that sort of stuff. And what happened over the last 100 years, something really crazy, well, here's a story about the income tax, and it's really quick, but it really paints a clear picture. So the 16th Amendment passes, and for the first time in America, we have an income tax at the very beginning of the 1900s, in the Revenue Act of 1912. And so this was a huge controversy. The only other income tax America had, this was 100 years ago, the only other income tax we had before then was the South had to pay an income tax after the Civil War as reparations.
Okay.
They paid it off and then it went away. And so the progressives are arguing that we need a national income tax, and the conservatives are like, that's heinous, that's evil. You own your body. Taxation is theft. You don't. The government doesn't get to extract your money from you just because you get to choose the manner of your labor. It's still coercion. But the liberals at the time promised it was just a tax on the top 1%. The top 1% of America was the only group that paid an income tax at first, and their total income tax was 1%. And the arguments were the wealthy needs to pay their share, right? And so here we are, 100 years later, and we go from the top 1% paying 1% income tax to pretty much all of us paying income tax. And the Republicans are arguing about whether it should be 25 or 10, and the conservatives are arguing about whether it should be 10 or completely gone. Because if it's violence, and if it's unethical, and if it's antithetical to the values that we're trying to conserve, then it's all or nothing.
Wow.
And so that's the divide I see right now. But because when I say stuff like that, I sound like a radical, even though it's only 100 years, like the rest of America before me would call you guys a radical who want income tax.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
So
it's crazy how it just kind of goes full circle and how it changes and evolves over the different years. And Neil, I tell you what, I am so impressed with your knowledge of what's at hand here. And I'm also super excited about the Watchdog Report and how Jenny asked these real hard-hitting questions, things that we want to know the answer to, and things that we want to know how people stand the way that they stand. So of course you can pick up your Watchdog Report. I know there's a list of places that you could pick them up, but you can pick up your Watchdog Report, or better yet, just go online, watchdogreport.com. You can read all about it. Neil, thank you so much for coming in. Thank you for the knowledge that you brought to us. I always appreciate that.
thanks for having me. I had a great time as always.
Well, good. Until next time, right?
Yes, sir.
We'll see you coming up here in just a bit on Happy Hour.
While the financial services industry for years has focused on products, pricing, and performance, or things we refer to at SRG as the how, our focus for our clients has always been around their why. And without fail, over all these years, those whys have centered around family, occupation, and recreation. Think legacy issues, retirement, or achieving a work-optional lifestyle, and checking off those important things on that recreational bucket list. Our foundational approach remains a focus on the things that matter most to our clients and the things that together we can control. And where those two things overlap, that's where we live and work every day. That's SRG Financial and the Mile Marker Formula.
Your furry friends are more than pets, they're family. And at our veterinary, we understand that. With multiple locations, we can service your pets when and where you need it. Our team of professionals offer routine wellness, orthopedic care from broken bones to joint repair, and even emergency services. We are ready to welcome your pet to our family with medical or preventative care. Our veterinary, with 6 convenient locations, the team providing exceptional care for your pet when and where you need it.
Want a dock that will withstand the wake from a million boats? Want a dock that's different from the usual dock? Then you want Ozark Barge and Dock in Gravois Mills. Ozark Barge and Dock now celebrating 35 years of building the best dock on Lake of the Ozarks. And we guarantee every dock we build. So when it comes time to build your custom dock, trust the best and go with Ozark Barge and Dock, building the best dock at the lake for the last 35 years.
Well, we are on the Camdenton School campus, and we're just kind of on the back corner, real close to the football field, at a building called Lake Career and Technical Center. I refer to it as LCTC. Let's find out what all they have to offer inside. Let's go. We are inside LCTC, and we're here for their open house, and we have Jill here with us. Jill, thank you so much for inviting us to the open house this year. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Fantastic.
Thank you for joining us.
Oh, well, I'm very excited. I'm excited to see what all Lake Career and Technical Center has to offer. So why don't you tell us just a little bit, and then we'll just kind of tour the location.
Sure, love to. We are a career center. We have 11 different programs. We also have an adult marine program. We offer 17 different industry recognized credentials within those 11 programs. We have dual credit. We have embedded credit for English language arts and math. And really, there's magic that happens here every day. Kids come here and just really thrive.
Yeah, and I've also heard that there's even some classes, just like one-night classes that anyone in the community can sign up for if they want to learn how to do a little cooking or something. So we'll learn about that as we take the tour. Are we ready to go see the rest of this beautiful facility here?
Let's do it.
All right, let's go see.
So this is our graphic arts program. Mr. Poe is our instructor in here, and he covers a variety of things. So lots of input and output, creating of content, and then also output. And I always tease him that he takes up the most space. So,
well, let's see why he's taking up the most space, because I'm already seeing, as we're walking in here, we have merchandise that I've seen at local stores and at the band or at the games and stuff.
These are actually a fundraiser for FBLA, because we had we went full sweep in districts, and we won every event in FBLA that we participated in. So they're headed to state. And so this is how they're trying to pay their way.
Well, there you go. Laker hats, $20.
That's right. Come get yours.
Send someone on. Now, is this for sale? Could we purchase something like this?
I'm not sure he will sell this to you, but you're welcome to try it on.
Well, I think
it fits you perfectly.
Fitting. Yes. Join us and picture your success in FBLA today. Oh, I can't point. I was getting ready to point.
They learn really lots of different print. He's different types of print. He recently just got this laser. This is kind of his new toy. And so you can kind of see there's a variety of things that the kids are able to do. This is his full Mac lab. And students are learning the Adobe suite really in here.
Awesome.
They produce, well, any of the hype videos that you saw for football came out of this class. We're really, really proud of them because we just rebranded this year and rolled out a new logo. And part of that was me coming to Mr. Poe and saying, hey, we need a new logo. And his students used it as an assignment.
That is
and
great.
Treated us like a client. We went back and forth until we were able to get what we wanted. And they did a spectacular job. It's really important to us here that we are providing them hands-on opportunities with industry standard equipment. That's what you can always expect from us, and we've been really blessed and our district supported that. But we feel really strongly that kids need to learn on industry standard. So they get that here. It's pretty neat.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, let's see what else we have going on here.
Kind of a cool social experiment going on because I was the middle school AP, and so I had a lot of these kids in middle school, saw them in a normal academic environment, and then have got to come here and watch like those same kids that maybe I didn't know they were just an absolute genius in middle school because they weren't in the right environment, and then they come here and you see them.
It's just like you see them open up.
I mean, it's amazing. It has just absolutely blown my mind to see the genius that they have. I just didn't even know because they weren't in the right environment. They design their own shirts. They will, like, on occasion for different places take orders and do the same design process. I mean, it's just the design process over and over again, and then being able to then do the output part of it with hands-on output has really been fun and cool.
see everything? Okay.
So this is auto collision and repair.
Hey, how are you?
Mr. Briscoe. Mr. Briscoe's been around for a while, so he would be one that if you, in a great way,
Mr. Briscoe is our old fella here.
He's one that if you interviewed Mr. Briscoe, your viewers would know him.
Oh, very good, very good. So, okay, you do all the auto collision repair stuff?
Collision repair program.
Okay.
I think this is 22 years I've been doing it.
Wow.
And the program has improved a lot, not because of me necessarily, but thanks to the support of our community and our good director. We've been able to add a lot of new equipment, a lot of improvements in the whole situation. It's really great.
Oh, wow. Yes. This is awesome. Oh, what? They have a dream, like, what a dream job here, or not even job, a class.
And this is a truck we're doing for our building trades department. And this was a truck that was an accident and was totaled out by the insurance company. And it's getting new parts, it's getting done just like it would be in a collision repair shop. And when it's done, it'll be a fine 2019 Chevy truck that they can use for that program.
Wow.
And our goal is always to be into them for about half the cost of what it would take to do for them to go get one.
And this covers everything. You're taking care of the airbags and just like it would be if someone took it to get it.
This is an ideal situation. We actually have the truck tore down now because we did our estimates on it. Mm-hmm. We do a computer estimate. Every student that touches it does an estimate. The students, actually on this truck, all the students do an estimate on it because it was a good example. They will, they've already done a pre-scan with the computer. They will go in and obviously replace all the airbags and everything, get everything reset, recalibrated. The panels will be new GM panels that are going to go on it, and that will consist of everything from pulling it to welding the new panels on. We're dealing with all the technology of high-strength steels and everything there is on a modern vehicle. You know, they use adhesive to put bedsides on. I mean, there's all kinds of things they'll learn. But this covers about 90% of what we're here to teach. Mm-hmm. You know, by the time we go through the whole process, it does cover it really well.
Oh, this is fun already.
Isn't it fun?
We haven't even scratched the surface
like the
here.
cool part for me is every room I go into every day, I'm like the student.
Yeah, you walk in and you're just like,
yeah,
you guys make
show me, teach me. I have no idea. Yeah, it's just. Hi, Mr. Underwood. We're just passing through.
Pick up and kind of say what all you do here in this class, or what?
All right, so I'm Josh Underwood, and I have the Auto Tech class here. We are essentially trying to prep all of our students to not only be able to go in possibly into our industry, but also be able to essentially be able to work on their own vehicle, change their own oil, know how to maintenance their vehicle. We touch base on a little bit of driving techniques and things that you need to be aware of whenever you're on the road. We go into the new technology. We have an actual Tesla that was donated to our program that allows us the ability to show the students new technologies coming out. A lot of different places don't realize that is in the near future.
Oh yeah.
They're talking in 2025 that every make should have a model of full electronic vehicle. Most all of them already have multiple types. We have essentially 8 bays that we operate out of. There's 6 different teams, and those teams have their own toolboxes, and they have to check them in and out of each class. They'll go through, and each bay is assigned to a different group at a different time, and they're able to do anything from changing oil and replacing or repairing a tire, all the way up to full diagnostic on the alignment and engine diagnostics. There's a lot of different components that we can really go through. They change brakes in this class, they change ball joints, suspension items, do a lot of alignments, using the scan tool to be able to diagnose basic trouble issues on vehicles. We do a digital inspection on all the vehicles that come in, and we shoot for, at the end of our course, being able to get them state certified by the State Highway Patrol to be a state inspector.
Wow.
So they can take that credential directly out of this class and go and get a job and start placing it already in the field as a basic lube tech. They can do inspections, which on a lot of places around here, that's $1 raise just in walking in with the certification.
Yeah.
So, and that doesn't sound like a lot, but in this industry,
Well, yeah,
in this world, I mean, that $1 higher than everybody else.
That's right.
It's awesome.
This is metal fab and welding. They do a little bit of both, metal fabrication and welding.
Uh-huh.
So this is one of my favorite, because what happened was our culinary department wanted to have a pizza oven, like a wood burning wood pizza oven, and so they collaborated with welding, and they used basically engineering process and built this, and we used it, and we sold pizzas at our car show, our annual car show. And they were amazing.
Did you make it? Here, come on over here. What's your name?
And he's
Joshua Curley.
He's our February student of the month too.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay. Well, we're here with Josh, February student of the month, and Josh, I have heard through the grapevine or through the pizza oven that this was kind of your thing that you helped build and put together. What was the process of something like this?
So at the beginning of the school year, we all came back, and we have new kids in the class, and not everyone knows each other. So Mr. Patswold said, let's just make a big old project. So this was kind of a class thing, but I kind of like organized it. And then we went and sold pizzas, and then we got some feedback, and we're like, well, we kind of want a direct heat source because the crust wasn't cooking better.
Okay.
So then I ended up putting the belly on the bottom, and to where then you have a vent on the back end that I installed, and then it has that smoky type of flavor, and you can get the crust crispy now. So
That is great. Oh, I love it. Freeze, 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 freeze. No.
This side is our high school side, Marine and Power Sports, and then on the other side would be our adult marine program. Normally there's like boats everywhere in here. We are really blessed because we have an adult marine program, and Mr. Tim Keeney's been doing that for a while. We have a 100% placement rate, so when students come here through that adult program, it's a 9-month program, they're hired usually by October.
Oh,
They start in August, and we usually have them out hired by October.
That is
so
amazing.
Really great program. It's very hands-on, and I always tell people, if you have a boat and you live at Lake the Ozarks, there's about a 100% chance someone that Tim Keeney has trained is working on it.
He's working on that boat, yeah.
So this is our construction program, and really we get to do a couple different things. Our morning block is actually building a house, so it's a building trades program. They build it from ground to crown, is what Mr. Bearden always says. And those kids they do all of it. In the afternoon, then we have a 2-hour block here, which is really more woodworking, more craftsmanship, and so they have individual projects, and then also doing some work for the house as well.
That's really neat.
Yeah.
So a little bit of everything in here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're gonna like this one.
Oh yeah. So yeah, this is the dining room here, the culinary room.
They do a little bit of everything in here, from computer repair, cybersecurity, some networking. So yeah, they really kind of learn a little bit of everything in here. It's a lot of, they'll work through a module and then be able to go back into their lab space and actually do what they've just learned, which is pretty awesome.
Wow.
So we actually have an ag building and a barn, and we actually have a meat processing room as well. That is a separate building, but still part of LCTC. And so these guys are up here tonight just for convenience to be able to show off some of their projects. But we have a greenhouse, a barn. We keep animals down there. It's the whole shebang down there. So it's worth seeing sometime.
Oh,
but,
absolutely.
These kids work really hard on some projects that they've brought up to showcase tonight.
Jill, thank you so much for this tour that you've given us at this open house. So now we're planning another open house. You do one every year here for LCTC, right?
We do. We will have an open house annually, usually at the end of February.
Okay.
February is Career Tech Ed Month, and so we celebrate that by opening our doors and inviting our community. I would also say that we are always looking for industry partnerships and for people to serve on our advisory committees and help steer these programs. So if anyone's interested in that, please contact us here at LCTC. And if you need more information, we're happy to pass it along.
Now, how would they contact you? Website, phone number, stop by? What's the best way?
Probably the best way is just to call the office here.
Okay.
There is a website you're welcome to go to as well, but we're happy to just take a phone call and share what we know and hear from the community as well.
Well, other than just placing great people into the community in different places of culinary arts and welding and graphic arts and all the different things that you have here, what are some other things that LCTC is doing in the community?
A lot. There's two events I'd really like to be able to plug, which is we have a crappie fishing tournament coming up on April 21st, and all the proceeds from that go straight back to our students and help them in their CTSOs. So things like Skills USA and FBLA and HOSA, and for our FFA students. So it goes right back to them. There's information on the website on that. You can also just call the office and we're happy to get information to people. We also have an annual car show. We have that in September. We do have a date, September 16th of next fall. And so same thing, check social media, follow us on Facebook, and we always put out information there. Call the office. We're happy to get people some more information.
Well, thank you so much for all the information you gave us. And again, thank you so much for the tour. But I think one of my favorite rooms was that culinary arts room. So if it's okay with you, I'll leave you here. You probably have other things to do, don't you?
Sure,
All right, well, I would like to visit that room one more time. I think there was something I didn't see in there.
Absolutely.
Thanks again. Have a good one.
While the financial services industry for years has focused on products, pricing, and performance, or things we refer to at SRG as the how, our focus for our clients has always been around their why. And without fail, over all these years, those whys have centered around family, occupation, and recreation. Think legacy issues, retirement, or achieving a work-optional lifestyle. and checking off those important things on that recreational bucket list. Our foundational approach remains a focus on the things that matter most to our clients and the things that together we can control. And where those two things overlap, that's where we live and work every day. That's SRG Financial and the Mile Marker Formula.
Your furry friends are more than pets, they're family. And at our veterinary, we understand that. With multiple locations, we can service your pets when and where you need it. Our team of professionals offer routine wellness, orthopedic care from broken bones to joint repair, and even emergency services. We are ready to welcome your pet to our family with medical or preventative care. Our veterinary, with 6 convenient locations, the team providing exceptional care for your pet when and where you need it.
Welcome back to Happy Hour with your host, DJ Kyle. And we want to say thanks to our sponsors, SRG Financial Advisor, home of the Mile Marker Formula. And today I get the pleasure to sit with one of my favorite people to chat with, Constance Hoffman. Thank you so much for coming in here. Now, Constance is with COMC, and she's going to tell us some of the new things that we have going on at COMC. There's a lot of stuff going on, new places popping up, new staff coming in, new things that you guys are doing out in the community. So tell us a little bit about some of the things that are going on right now.
Absolutely. Always a pleasure to see you, Kyle. Thank you for having me again. Yes, we have some exciting news. We have 2 new OBGYNs that will be joining us this summer at our Osage Beach clinic. So we're just very excited to have them on board. The doctors that we have on board now delivering are overextended.
Oh, yeah.
We are just adding a whole new age group to our population, so
Nice.
lots of new babies.
Now with those new OBGYNs, are they accepting new patients now, or are they just there to kind of help take the weight of all the other ones that have been stressed out? Like
a little bit of both, but,
Okay.
but mainly having them on board will allow us to help the community more and bring
Nice.
on more patients.
Very
Absolutely.
good.
And of course we have a pediatrician right there in Osage Beach, so once they have that baby, it transitions right over to peds.
Wow, that is great. That's great. And you're getting some new dentists in right now too?
Yes, we added 2 new dentists in Lori just recently, and then we have this summer a new one that will be joining us at our Richland location.
Yeah, so mark my words, if you have a tough time getting into a dentist, because I think it was last time we were talking, you said, yeah, we're going to be having some new dentists coming in. I was looking for a new dentist, calling around, no one was accepting new patients, and the ones that I found were, 4 or 5 months out or whatever. And I talked to you and you said, hey, we have some new dentists come in. I called, I'm going to be in there, I think in a week from now. So absolutely amazing. So if you are looking to find a new dentist and some great home for your dental needs, contact our friends COMC. And that's the new dentists are in the
2 that we already have on board is in Lori.
in Lori. That's
Correct.
what I thought. Okay. Well, very good. Well, what are some other things that are going on in and amongst the staff?
Well, due to a lot of growth and development and expansions, we're always looking for quality people, both clinical and non-clinical. So careers are always updated on our website, which is www.centralozarks.org. And then you go to the careers tab, which is right at the top. And again, we update that as much as needed. So come join a fabulous team of people.
Yeah, what are some positions that you're looking for right now? Just a little bit of anything, a little bit of everything, just to expand?
It does. It's really crossing over. We have access coordinators. I think we have openings in all of our locations for that, and those are kind of our front line. So when you walk into a clinic, those are the people that are going to greet you, make sure you have your paperwork in order, that sort of thing. But again, we have clinical and non-clinical, so check us out.
Fantastic. Now, another thing that we've seen that Central Ozarks has been doing lately are these Narcan vending machines and the success that they're already seeing. One opened up just recently in Lebanon. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what the Narcan vending machines do and places that they are and how we can get a hold of them.
Absolutely. As you mentioned, we did open one in Lebanon, and we also have one right off the strip, the Bagnell Dam strip, at our place called The Hub, which is a community center. The Narcan is free, so when you go to a machine, it's like you would be going to purchase a soft drink or a candy bar. There's little vouchers that are on the machine. You pull one of those out, put that inside the slip, press the coordinating slot where the vending machine is housing the Narcan, and then it will drop down. There's 2 Narcans to a box. The instructions are inside, or you can go flip that box over, and I have a QR code on the bottom that will send them right to our website, which has a great video on instructions, for use. So we highly recommend that everyone have this. Unfortunately, there was a story recently about an infant that was with their parents at a hotel. There had been some fentanyl, used in the hotel room, and the child was ingested it, of course, because it was just crawling, on the carpet. Wow. Another example is anyone that has young children or grandchildren that has access to your medicine cabinet that can accidentally maybe take some pain medicine. You need that fentanyl in case something happens, and then you're still calling 911.
So this is something that you would probably suggest just to have on hand, not wait until you need it to run out and go get it. This is something that you would just encourage anyone. Maybe you work with the public, like someone like me. I'm out DJing a lot of places, restaurants and bars. Might be something good to have in case I see something, and you even say that some of this could even be airborne.
The smallest amount. I mean, if you look at a penny, and then just the smallest amount on, like the small portion of a stamp that's on the penny. It's minuscule what can cause an overdose situation. So yes, highly suggest that everyone carry it, because you never know, and it can save somebody's life.
So we can find out the locations online, or?
You definitely can. The best way to always get our updated information is to follow us on Facebook, or at least just go to our Facebook page. The information is on there. You can go to the little icon and just type in Narcan, and it'll tell you lots of posts of where to find us.
So yeah, you might save someone's life by having this on hand. Now tell us, we talked just a little bit before we started here. What's this mat that I'm hearing about?
I tell you, it is something that I've become very passionate about within our organization. So if somebody is experiencing an addiction, whether that be from opiates, it could be drinking too much. It's a program that we give medication. So MAT stands for Medicine Assisted Treatment, which means they are given medicine to help curb the cravings that they have to want to ingest the drug or the alcohol.
Nice.
Or again, maybe they broke a shoulder and are taking now way too many pain medications. But we also combine that with behavioral health, because we feel that we have to address the person both ways.
Fix the problem, not just put a Band-Aid on it, right?
Very true.
That's good.
When we started the program in February of last year, we had 10 patients. We have 180 patients that are going through the program now. And some of those patients are actually even expecting mothers. So the medication is okay for them to take while they're pregnant as well.
Wow. Well, how can we learn more about this? How can we, if someone wants to schedule counseling, how does it work? What's the steps for someone to...
Absolutely. You can go again to our website. If you go under our services tab, you go to the substance misuse section, or just call our 877-406-COMC and ask to speak with Tina in the MAT area.
All right, that is great. See, we're helping the community in all aspects. And Constance, thank you so much for coming out here. Always a pleasure chatting with you, and I can't wait till next time to hear about all the new things that you guys have going on.
Always something going on.
Always something going on. So again, don't forget to check out their website. Look into that Narcan vending machines. That's a very, very great thing, and I'm excited about being able to go and get my own to where I can have it in my glove box for any kind of needs that might arise, or maybe even in my DJ booth, I might have to have that. So again, Central Ozarks Medical Center, thank you so much for being on Happy Hour. We have more Happy Hour coming up.
While the financial services industry for years has focused on products, pricing, and performance, or things we refer to at SRG as the how, our focus for our clients has always been around their why. And without fail, over all these years, those whys have centered around family, occupation, and recreation. Think legacy issues, retirement, or achieving a work-optional lifestyle, and checking off those important things on that recreational bucket list. Our foundational approach remains a focus on the things that matter most to our clients and the things that together we can control. And where those two things overlap, that's where we live and work every day. That's SRG Financial and the Mile Marker Formula.
Want a dock that will withstand the wake from a million boats? Want a dock that's different from the usual dock? Then you want Ozark Barge and Dock in Gravois Mills. Ozark Barge and Dock now celebrating 35 years of building the best dock on Lake of the Ozarks. And we guarantee every dock we build. So when it comes time to build your custom dock, trust the best and go with Ozark Barge and Dock, building the best dock at the lake for the last 35 years.
Your furry friends are more than pets, they're family. And at our veterinary, we understand that. With multiple locations, we can service your pets when and where you need it. Our team of professionals offer routine wellness, orthopedic care from broken bones to joint repair, and even emergency services. We are ready to welcome your pet to our family with medical or preventative care. Our veterinary, with 6 convenient locations, the team providing exceptional care for your pet when and where you need it. Welcome to another Furry Friends presented by our veterinary here on Lake TV. I'm Megan Albers. This is Mary Meow Me Tilly, and we have an interesting looking dog.
You can probably hear him breathing in the background. He's down here panting.
Promise he's not dying. David, behind the camera, referred to him as Crispy, which is such a good way to describe him. He's adorable, though. His name is Shorty, right?
Shorty.
Yes. Tell me about Shorty.
So Shorty has an interesting background.
Okay.
He came into us from Camden County Animal Control.
Okay.
They found him out wandering on Crazy Horse Drive.
Okay.
So when he first came in, the manager said, "Oh, Crazy Horse Drive, I want to name him Pony Boy."
Yeah,
So
obviously.
that was how he initially went into the system. He is thought to be at least 7 years old. We're not entirely sure, but his history and everything dates him to at least that age. We have him listed as a wire hair Yorkie mix.
Okay. He might be mixed with a gremlin.
Possibly.
If you adopt him, don't feed him after midnight.
He's in desperate need of a bath, but we can't do it because he just got fixed. Yeah. So he's a little crispy right now.
A little bit.
So like I said, he came in from animal control. We posted him online like we do with all our strays that come in, and started getting phone calls from people in the neighborhood who said, "That's Shorty." Or Shorty Boy.
Okay.
And he knows his name, so we did go ahead and change his name in the system because he is familiar with that. He is the neighborhood stray.
The neighborhood
stray. He comes into my yard, he plays with my dogs, the kids play with him, he kind of bounces from house to house. And so I asked the first lady that I talked to about that, I said, "Okay, so do you have any idea on his history? You know, like did somebody move out and leave him behind? You know, what's going on?" And she said, "I bought my house here 5 years ago, and at that time, when I met the neighbors and everything, they said, 'Oh, you know, by the way, that's Shorty. He's the neighborhood stray.' So he's been out and about on his own for at least 5 years."
That's crazy. Just, running around, probably eating way too much because everybody's feeding him.
Yeah, apparently not causing any trouble, or somebody would have called animal control a long time ago, but he just kind of bounced from house to house. She said he would come over in the afternoon and play with her dogs when they were outside. Other people said, they played with my kids, and everything.
Yeah.
So it's a very good temperament. The thing that's going on with Shorty right now is when they went to neuter him, when they went to intubate him, they had some trouble getting the tubing to go in.
Oh, okay.
So normally they would not have done facial neck x-rays during a regular neuter, but because they were having issues, they decided they needed to see what was going on. And they discovered that Shorty has a broken jaw.
Oh, goodness, poor guy.
And he also has, which we already knew this, he has a puncture wound in his neck.
Oh my gosh.
And a broken jaw and several damaged teeth.
So likely a bigger animal got to him?
Possible. There was one phone call that we got that we talked to, said they wondered if maybe someone had hurt him. But we have no way of knowing. She didn't know. We have no way of knowing what all was going on. With the puncture wound, we're more likely to think, that it was an animal, maybe a bite or something. But he has a broken jaw. So we're going to have to, the next step in this, they went ahead and neutered him and everything. The next step is that we're going to have to take him to the location in our veterinary in Lynn Creek.
Okay.
Because they have more equipment down there than the office in Lori. They're going to have to do actual dental x-rays on him to see what's going on. Bare minimum, he's probably going to have some teeth pulled. And then, depending on what they find and what happens after those teeth are pulled, then, there may be more involved.
Yeah. It's interesting. Man, dogs are resilient. Like, the stuff they go through, like, I would have had no idea that he had a broken jaw.
And we didn't either.
'Cause he's just, he's happy, he's super friendly.
The only issue that we had with him when he came in, perfectly friendly, super sweet. There was a little issue when he came in. His little red rocket came out and would not go back in.
Oh.
And apparently sometimes that can happen. There's a big long name for it. Sometimes that can happen with unneutered males.
Interesting.
And so the vet came down, Dr. Katie, and she had to push it back in, basically. He got a little upset with that. I think anybody would.
I just want to say thank you to all the vets out there. Y'all have a weird job.
And we were told, once he's neutered, this will probably, it's apparently a fairly common thing. Once he's neutered, that should take care of that, and I don't think we've had any issues with it since then.
Well, good.
He did manage to do a number on his incision and get it wide open, and he had round antibiotics, so that's looking better now and everything.
He's been through it.
But because of all that going on and getting fixed in the incision, we have not been able to give him a bath.
Understandable.
So he's kind of in need of one. His first opportunity we get once he's healed up good, then we'll make sure that gets done and get him fancied up a little bit more. He doesn't seem to mind.
He's adorable looking disheveled anyways. It's great. So what are you looking for specifically for him?
So right now, he's not going to be ready yet until we find out what all is going on with his mouth and get that taken care of. Right now, we would just, vet bills and dental work especially can be very expensive. And so right now, we're kind of looking for some donations to help with that.
Okay.
So they can go on our Facebook has a donate button. Our website has a donate button. Website has the address to mail checks. You can drop by money if you want to help Shorty and get him all fixed up so he can find a forever home and actually be in a home for the rest of his life instead of out running around just being the neighborhood stray. We would sure appreciate some donations to help fund that for him.
Now, when people donate, do they need to designate that it's going to him?
They can if they want. Our regular vet bills for the shelter animals, that comes out of our general operating fund. So unlike the public programs that we have, if any money that comes in goes into that pool and can be used for our vet bills. So it might be used for him. It might be used for somebody else here in the shelter that's got a need. All the spays and neuters. The vet bill comes in and everything's all in one, and we pay it. and move
Yeah.
on.
Yep.
So,
make it easy.
yeah, but you know, anytime we have a special case like him, you know, then we've had a lot of them in the last 6 months or so, you know, a lot of surgeries and things like that, and it all really adds up.
Yep, it does. It gets expensive. And of course, I'm sure people can apply in advance, even though he's not ready.
Yes,
people can fill out an application on him.
If somebody's interested, they can definitely go ahead and put in an app. Just write Shorty on it. You know, just understand that we don't know exactly when it's going to be that he's going to be ready to leave us. So, you know, there may be a bit of a wait time.
Okay.
But we'll take those apps in the meantime, and then when it's closer to time for him to be able to leave, then we'll start contacting people.
Yeah.
And you know, they can come in and meet him if they want in the meantime.
Yeah, perfect. Well, let's get Shorty adopted also. Let's get those donations coming in so that he can get ready to get adopted. You can also fill out that application at ozarkscatandcanine.com. Of course, you can swing by, you can meet him, you can come in with a big fat check for him. Thank you so much, Mary. It's been fun once again. That does it for another Furry Friends here on Lake TV, presented by our veterinary.
While the financial services industry for years has focused on products, pricing, and performance, or things we refer to at SRG as the how, our focus for our clients has always been around their why. And without fail, over all these years, those whys have centered around family, occupation, and recreation. Think legacy issues, retirement, or achieving a work-optional lifestyle, and checking off those important things on that recreational bucket list. Our foundational approach remains a focus on the things that matter most to our clients and the things that together we can control. And where those two things overlap, that's where we live and work every day. That's SRG Financial and the Mile Marker Formula.
Your furry friends are more than pets, they're family, and at our veterinary, we understand that. With multiple locations, we can service your pets when and where you need it. Our team of professionals offer routine wellness, orthopedic care from broken bones to joint repair, and even emergency services. We are ready to welcome your pet to our family with medical or preventative care. Our veterinary, with 6 convenient locations, the team providing exceptional care for your pet when and where you need it.
Oh, another great edition of Happy Hour, and I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us on today's edition. Also, thanks to our sponsors, thanks to SRG Financial Advisor, home of the Mile Marker Formula, Ozark Barge and Dock, thank you for your support, and our good friends at our veterinary clinics. Thank you for keeping our pets nice and safe and healthy. What a fantastic show we had today. Thank you to our guest, Neil Gist, came in and talked a little bit about the Watchdog Report and just told us some interesting history. Also, it was great to go and visit the LCTC and see what all they have to offer. Constance Hoffman at COMC, always a great time to chat with you, Constance. You are absolutely great. And of course, that furry friend, Shorty. Don't forget, you get a chance to take that furry friend home. Thank you so much for joining us this week. We'll see you next time.